Good evening, everyone. I am Yash. Today, I will guide you through the step by step installation process of Ansible, a powerful automation tool used for managing and provisioning IT infrastructure. Ansible simplifies complex tasks and allows for efficient configuration management and application deployment. So, let's dive right into it. I will cover during this session introduction to Ansible, preparation the environment, installing Ansible, configuration Ansible, verifying the installation, next steps and resources. Okay, so now let me understand what is Ansible. So before we proceed with any installation, let's have a brief introduction to Ansible. Ansible is an open source automation platform that uses a simple human readable language called YAML to describe tasks and playbooks. It enables you to automate repetitive tasks, configure systems, and manage complex IT infrastructure. Preparing the environment before installing Ansible, we need to ensure that our environment meets the requirements. Ansible can be installed on various operating systems, including Linux, macOS, and Windows. In our case, we will focus on CentOS 8 machines. Let me now prepare the Ansible infrastructure. But before that, we need to understand what is the infrastructure, how Ansible works. So if we go to the Ansible documentation site, and if you see here, there is a one controller node, right, where we install the Ansible and we store the inventory files, and another, the manage nodes. There are number of manage nodes. There is no limit for this manage node as of now. So we will prepare first controller node, then we will prepare client 1, client 2, or node 1, node 2. Okay. So I will prepare this Ansible controller and nodes on the cloud. You can prepare on your virtual box as well. Uh, okay. So I choose a DigitalOcean to create a Ansible infrastructure. So let me prepare first controller node. So you have to create here. You can, whenever you log in here in the DigitalOcean, you will get a 200 credit for 2 months. So you can utilize this credit for the 2 months. Okay, so create a droplet. Okay, I will choose Bangalore, which is nearest to me. I will select CentOS version 8, and I will go for the higher RAM for now. For the controller, you can choose 2 GB as well. Okay, and okay, I will create a password for that. I will type a strong password here. Okay, so password is, let me save somewhere. Okay, okay, and I will give a name to the controller node as a controller. I will create only one droplet, and I will mention a tag Ansible installation. Okay, the tag is used for reporting purpose as well sometime. Okay, create droplet. It will take hardly 1 or 2 minutes. Meanwhile, I will prepare two nodes as well. So again, I will select a Bangalore, CentOS, CentOS 8. This time I will choose as a client 2 GB. Okay, and I will select password for the same. Okay, let me copy paste this same password I will use. This password is for the root user. Okay, and now I want to create two clients. Okay, so I will give name one, client one, and client two. Okay, and the tag is same. Okay, and create a droplet. Okay, it's creating. Yeah, so controller node is ready with us. Okay, so public IP we have. So I will use remote access. Okay, or mobile extreme we can use. I will I will create a new folder. Ansible installation. I will create a new session, that is a SSH. We will provide the IP, specify the root user. Okay, and bookmark setting I will mention as a controller. Okay, so it is asking me for password. Okay, now we are good to go. Our controller is ready. Let's are ready or not. Yeah, so our client 1 and client 2 both are ready. So let me copy first one, client 1. Okay, and copy the IP. And for client 2, let me copy the IP. Okay, let me now make it available in our mobile stream. So I will create again a new session here. New session, SSH. So let me copy first for client 1. It's copied. Again specified user root. Advanced SSH bookmark setting. I mention here client 1. Okay, and you can make many changes here, but that is fine. Okay, now client 1 is ready. Okay, now I am able to log in into client 1 as well. Let me prepare a new session for client 2. So this is the client 2. Let me paste it. Again, the specified for the root user. Let me mention here client 2. Okay, and okay, so we have a client 1, client 2 ready. Okay, now we have to first update our machines with the latest patches. So we will update our patches. Okay, the same command I will apply here. Okay, there is some issue with a few of the packages, but that is fine. Okay, same result here. Okay, now we will check if Ansible is installed or not as of now. So there is no Ansible installed. So for installation of the Ansible, we need to install Apple software first. So we will install Apple release. Okay, this installation only done on the controller node, not on other client nodes. Okay, okay, Apple is installed. Now the simple command we need to install through install Ansible, yum install Ansible. Okay, now let's see, it's downloading. Installation is in progress. Okay, it's also installed Python because the Ansible is based on Python itself. Yeah, installation is going on. So first we install the Apple release. It is release is nothing but it's a repository which it provides the additional packages. Okay, okay, Ansible is installed. Let me check and now Ansible version. Yeah, so we can see core 2.14.2. This is the latest version is installed over our controller node. Right now, if we see, if we try to connect with our client, so it is difficult to connect, right? Because client 1, client 2, those are unknown. We have a IP of that client 1 and client 2. So if I try to connect with client 1, right? Root at the rate, what is the client IP? So this IP is client's IP. If I try to connect here, it will ask me fingerprint and password. Correct. So every time whenever I try to deploy anything through Ansible controller, it will ask me the password for client 1 and client 2. So how we can avoid for this password, right? So let me understand first. Let me install password, enter password first. Okay. Now if you see, we are connected with the client 1, right? So now let me back to the controller node and we generate one SSH key. Okay. So SSH keygen. Okay. Just enter, 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 enter. It generated a phrase key, right? There is a two key it generated. So where it stored dot dot SSH, right? Ls, if we can see, we have a two keys here, IDRSA and IDRSA public. So we need to copy this key to client 1, right? How we will copy this? So we have a command SSH copy ID, okay, and root at the rate, oops, sorry, root at the rate, okay, and enter. Okay, again it's asking password. Okay, okay, SSH is copied. Now the same way we will copy to the client 2 as well. So what is client 2's IP? 143. Okay, so let me copy now. Okay, yes, okay, okay. So now our public key is copied to both the clients, client 1 and client 2. So now let me try to get into client 1. Okay, this is client 1, right? So now directly we are entering into the client 1. It is not asking me any password, correct? And for client 2, the same result. SSH root at the rate, sorry, 174. Yes, yeah. Um, it is not supposed to be asked. Okay, so it was asking me from the client 1. I was in the client 1 first. So again, I exit from client 1 because in through client 1, we did not pass our public key to the client 2. Okay, so now we can try again. SSH root at the rate client 2. Yeah, it's directly enter, right? Because I tried from client 1 to enter into the client 1, like what I did earlier. Like suppose I am trying from now I am in client 2, right? Client 2 console. Now if I am trying to install directly enter into the client 1, it will not allow me because we did not copy public key from client 2 to client 1 or client 1 to client 2. We directly copied our public key from controller to client 1 and client 2. Okay, okay, let me exit from here, and now we are in the controller node, right? So now what is the default location of the Ansible folder? Okay, so default folder is cd slash etc slash ansible. Okay, ls. In the roles, you can see as of now nothing. It's a directory ls. There is nothing. Okay, it's an empty directory. We will learn in the future videos what are the roles and how we can use it. Okay, so now you can see two files, cf ansible.cfg and host file. So today we will learn about the host files. Okay, host. I'm sorry, Vim package is not installed. Sudo Vim install Vim. Let me install Vim first, so I can show you. Okay, yeah, Vim is installed, so I can open one host. Yeah, so you can see you can mention here all the managed nodes, right? So if I have a client one and client two, right? So if I want to make details of my managed nodes here, I can mention here. Okay, so how do I mention that? Like first of all, I mentioned simple, like let me explain, this is our dev environment, right? So I like dev environment. You can mention as a your web environment, your database environment, right? So you have to create such a text for that. Okay, so let me mention this is a dev environment for me. Okay, my first name is client one. Okay, and Ansible underscore host. These are the facts that I will explain you in the upcoming lectures. Okay, what are the facts? So what is the IP of the client one? So I will mention here IP. Okay, okay, and let me prepare a client two as a prod environment. Okay, and client two Ansible underscore host is equal to Let me copy this one and paste this one. So before that, we have a different parameters as well that mentioned as a Ansible facts. So I will mention here in the top. Okay, so okay, here you can select like a Ansible connection. Okay, which connection we will use? SSH. By default, SSH is a connection to connect with the different nodes. Then Ansible port, it should be 22. SSH is running on 22 port. Ansible underscore user is equal to root and Ansible underscore pass is equal to the password what we mentioned. Okay, this is not mandatory. You can hard code here the password while giving the commands also you can pass the password. Okay, so I am just this is for a first lesson, so I am mentioning here the password. Okay, let me save this file. Okay, now let me check the ping command first whether it is pinging to all the host or not. Okay, so Ansible -m Ansible -m ping. Okay, so we missed something. Okay, so let me try now. Ansible all -i inventory file host and -m module and the ping. So let's see if I'm able to ping all the machines. Yeah, I'm able to ping client 1 and client 2, right? So here is the Ansible is the command. All means all these nodes which I mentioned in the host file. Okay, I means parameter where host file reside. Okay, so you can give the host file path here. M is the module and we will use the ping module. Okay, now if suppose if I gave here we created two nodes there, dev and prod, right? So if I mention here dev only, then if you see I can see only client one, right? And if I make here prod, so I will get only result from the prod only. Okay, so in this video we already covered about the introduction, environment preparation, installation, configuration, verification and resource. Okay, in the next lecture we will learn the ad hoc commands, host file management. Okay, and to get account in the DigitalOcean you can use my this link. Okay, so you will get a $200 credit for 2 months and you can enjoy your cloud environment. Yeah, and cloud learning as well. Thank you everyone. See you soon. Thank you. Bye bye.